Hey there. I am here with another Memoir Minute for this week for all you aspiring nonfiction writers and memoirists out there. I'm Allie with The Right Place, Right Time. I'm an award-winning author and I'm an international book coach and ghostwriter. And today we are talking about some no's. Okay, caution, don't do these things when you are drafting and working on your manuscript development. So for those of you who have been following along, I use these memoir minutes at the beginning of each week to teach about writing memoir in short couple-minute videos. So they're a little bit rapid fire. And if you want to catch any of the others, then I encourage you to either scroll through my LinkedIn or Facebook profile page or to go visit me over on YouTube at The Right Place, Right Time. You can get all of the last and previous memoir minutes in any of those places. So today, we're talking about some things to avoid or watch out for as first-time memoirists or second or third-time memoirists, depending on how that first book went. And the first one is fire hosing. Okay, so do not give your readers so much information. This is especially true if you're explaining something. Let's say you're writing a memoir and it has to do with some elements of PTSD. I'm just going to toss it out there. Okay. Maybe you feel that it's necessary for the reader to understand the clinical diagnosis of PTSD, the backstory or history of how that diagnosis came to be, some of its effects, right? You don't want to just give all of the information you possibly can and give the reader so much that they don't know how to parcel out what's relevant and what's not. You want to kind of trickle it throughout, give them little pieces here and there, keep them in the moment and in the action, because after a while, right, they're going to forget what they're even reading about. They're going to forget where they were in the story because they've just taken in all of this educational, informative amount of material, and now they've got to figure out what to do with it, okay? Similarly to that is info dumping. Now, info dumping and fire hosing can be very similar. It could be that you're info dumping about a particular thing and fire hosing the reader with all of that information that you've just thrown there. But when I say info dumping, what I'm saying is you're dumping something critical and then you're backing away. You're not spending time to explain what it means or what happened. So I see this a lot with writers who maybe know that they need to share something critical that happened or something that makes them feel really, really vulnerable. So they state it and then they bail. It could mean, could be something like, and then I had a miscarriage 10 days later, right? So it's like, whoa, slow it down. You can't just dump this big, heavy moment and then back away as if it's not important or expect that your reader is going to just overlook that and be okay with the fact that you dropped this bomb there and then, you hightailed it out of there without any explanation, commentary, action, anything like that. All right. So info dump could mean dumping too much information, which has that fire hosing effect. But it could also mean that you're dropping something really critical and then backing away and not doing what you need to do with it. All right. Another big no is like long monologues. Okay. Somebody talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Now, yes, there can be moments in our lives where somebody rants and raves and you can't get a word in inchwise. But the thing is on the page, when it starts to look like just a page worth of a very long block paragraph with no indentation and no breaks, and it's couched in quotation marks, we start to lose interest and focus because this person is just talking at us, just the way that they might have been talking at you in real life. The thing is with dialogue, there's actually a lot more happening than just somebody talking at you. If you're watching this video right now, you can see that my facial expressions change, my hands are moving. While you can't see it at the moment, my cat's sitting to the left. She could walk across the screen at any moment. When we are in dialogue with other people, there's often still physical movement, other sensory things happening. We might be thinking about things, right? Because actually as listeners, we are often not always just 100% attentive to the person who's talking at us. We could also be thinking about our response while somebody is talking to us. All of those things have to happen on the page during dialogue. So even if somebody does, in fact, in the true experience of what happened, go on and on and on and on and on, you need to break it up on the page when you're telling the story. So similarly, right, we don't want pages and pages and pages and pages and pages worth of explanation, exposition, and telling. we're going to lose our reader because the reader is not going to feel the immediacy of the moment if they're just being told things and they're not feeling anything on the page. So we need to balance explanation and exposition with action and scene building that actually makes us feel as the reader that we're right there with the narrator or the author, right, in the case of memoir, and feeling the things that are happening. So that's where we want dialogue, we want action, we want sensory detail, we want some internal thought. So we need lots of things to happen. Now, it's not to say that we don't want any telling, any explanation or exposition. There are definitely moments where things should be summarized, recapped, explained, right? Rather than everything be so present in the moment that we don't understand the larger context. But we need a balance, all right? So in rapid fire, just to remind, so we're looking for fire hosing, we're looking for info dumping, we're looking for long monologues, and we're looking for pages worth of explanation, exposition, or telling. These are the things that we want to be on the lookout for that have the ability to weigh down our story and make it less emotionally compelling for our readers. Now, if you're like, ooh, I want to know more about some of these things, like I want to talk about my story, I want to talk about whether or not it's possible for me to write it well, then I definitely invite you to join me for a story stroll. It's free. It's 20 minutes. We talk one-to-one about your book. We figure out what your challenges are, and we get you moving on with your next best step. The other thing that could be useful to you at this stage, if you're just getting started and you're not really sure how the process works, is to grab your copy of the 5-Step Writing Guide to Starting and Finishing Your Memoir. This explains kind of big picture, all of the steps along the path, from blank page all the way to publication. Also free and available to you. So the links are with the caption to this video. Of course, drop comments, ask questions, you know where to find me, and we'll be back here again next week. Oh, nope, it's a holiday. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks with a fresh Memoir Minute. But in the week in between, like I said, check out some of the prior ones by scrolling through my LinkedIn profile or Facebook business page, or head on over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, catch them all over there. Ciao.